Hello, good morning. Let's go to the trails. Today I am testing Redshift Sports Suspension Stem. This is a 20mm suspension and I have been using it for last 1 month, I guess. So here is my long-term review, not a short-term. I feel like 1 month is more than enough to call it long-term. So I am standing near a haunted place. I think some rework is happening. ASI might be doing something to restore this. Okay, coming back to the stem and how does it feel. So to summarize this, I'll try to keep it short and bifurcating it in pros and cons. So in terms of pros, I would say the biggest pro is that you don't feel the small chatter on the trail, because this 20mm suspension is really smooth on those small chunks of what do you call, roots or some sort of small rocks that are always a part of gravel. So on those surfaces I think it's very smooth. You can also say that you can feel that suppleness with increased width of tire. Yes, of course you can do that. The only con is that the rolling resistance goes up, especially on tarmac. So if you are using your bike for mixed surface riding, I think going for a suspension stem like Redshift makes more sense, because then you can run a 40 or 42C in the front and you can feel equal suppleness as compared to a 47 or 50mm tire. So in that sense I think it's very smooth. The other pro is that it doesn't require any adjustment, or it doesn't require any sort of lubrication or maintenance on a regular basis. So I think they are claiming that your suspension can last for 2 to 3 years, and then you can get the replacement plastic rubber thing which goes inside the stem. For the first ride I made a very big mistake. Yeah, so I was talking about the mistake that I made. So from the factory it comes in the positive setting, which is of course lifting your handlebar on top, but I installed it in the negative thing. I think it's -6 degrees and of course +6 degrees. So I didn't change the direction of the rubbers which were installed inside the stem. There are a lot of videos online where you can check how to do that, so I'm not going to explain all of that. So yeah, so it doesn't require a lot of tuning, doesn't require a lot of basically servicing and all. You just have to go by the manual and you can change the color of the rubber installed inside the stem based on your weight. So yeah, in terms of negatives, of course if you are a weight weenie and you always consider making your bike light, then in that case it comes with an extra 100-120 gram of weight. So I think in that case you won't like it. Second negative which I find is that if you are on the hoods, it works perfectly. I can show you. So yeah, this flexes if you're on the hoods, but if you're on the drop, in that case it doesn't work. So that's a very negative part of this stem, because mostly if you're going downhill you would be on the drops. In that case this stem doesn't work. I think the specialized thing, which I don't remember the name, but the specialized diverge thing which is right at the at this place, that works better than this stem. But if you are not a specialized diverge customer, then of course you are not left with any other option than getting a stem. Like I've said, you can also go for a wider tire and put your lower tire pressure. In that case, of course, it will also give you a similar feeling. So I'm not sure about the small chatter, how that thing is going to eat it, but this particular stem eats it very well, the small chatter I'm talking about. So yeah, two negatives, weight, and then it doesn't work when you're on the drop. So yeah, that are the two negatives of this particular piece. In terms of feeling, I would say when you walk out of home taking your bike, at times you will feel like, oh, I don't have enough tire pressure in my front tire. That is because this is so soft when you are pushing your handlebar when your hand is on the hoods. So it feels like your tire is not inflated well, but that is not the case. It's because the stem is working. I feel like this should be a part of an endurance bike as well, because on an endurance bike a lot of people are doing a lot of rough surfaces, so this can go on a endurance bike as well. There is no reason why it can't go on an endurance bike. On a race bike it doesn't make sense at all, because of weight factor is of course there, but you'll also feel the flex when you're sprinting and trying to chase that extra mile and intensity. It's for slow riders who prefer comfort over pace. In that case this stem makes complete sense. So I am really enjoying it. It is soft, supple. Yeah, you can, I'm not sure if you can see, there is a flex, and it works specifically when you really need it on those small chatters. For example, on my bike, which is Cervelo Aspero, you can't run a wider tire than 42C, so this comes as rescue. In my area the trails are not that smooth, trails are very chunky, so yeah, I don't care about the weight, I care about the comfort. And suspension on the fork, that's another category. I feel like it's getting quite close to a XC mountain bike, and for that I have a separate bike, and I don't feel like it makes sense. I was slightly skeptical for this as well, but I think I made the right choice by going for this, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on Redshift Suspension Stem, which is a 20 mm stem. Makes sense if you can't get wider tire or you don't like wider tires. Okay, bye.